Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll find out. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live watch-along. Today we're going to be doing the FA Cup live watch-along of Manchester City's away game against Bristol City in the FA Cup. It's the 5th round match from Ashton Gate. Should be a really interesting one. Man City have gone with a very strong team, which we're going to speak about in just one moment. Good evening, everyone. I can see everybody tuning in, which is fantastic. Rico, hello. Mick Sid, thanks very much for tuning in. Rabbit, thanks very much for tuning in. Dudley as well, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. So before we do crack on with today's live watch on, we've got a good one planned for you guys as well. Make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget to go and check out my TikTok link. That's in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the live chat, including your score prediction for this game. And let me know where you're tuning in from around the world. And also, don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Once more, they've got their pot running for this game. You've got roughly around 19 minutes or so to enter the pot if you want to go and check that out. Remember, if you are going to download the BetMate app, then do use code JSGC10 on checkout, on sign up, as that will give you £10 in free bets. And it does that then allow you to use your free bets to join today's pot. £400 it's worth. The winner gets in £120, £5 entry fee. It's available to anybody that is in the UK who is 18 or over. Normal rules do apply. I will get my team up as I've managed to do a little bit of rotation based on the teams that are starting, which is always my top tip. So you've got 17 minutes, 27 seconds to join the BetMate pot for this game. My team's locked and loaded right here. I've got Ortega-Moreno in goal for Man City. My defenders are Rico Lewis and Manuel Akanji. My midfielders are Bernardo Silva, excuse me, and Kevin De Bruyne. And my attackers are Sykes of Bristol City and Julian Alvarez of Manchester City. My bench made up of Bristol City players: O'Leary, their goalkeeper; defender Kalas; midfielder Scott; and Nahki Wells, their striker. That's my BetMate team, so you can go and check that up. So go and check that out. It's a free app to download, and as I said, if you do use my link, it should automatically fill in code JSGC10 on sign up to give you £10 in free bets. If not, just type it in JSGC10 and you'll get £10 in free bets. It means you can join this pot for free. They've got lots of pots running on BetMate. Fantastic growing app in the UK, so do go and check them out. And thank you very much to BetMate for sponsoring this live watch along. So Boy Racer, hello, thanks very much for tuning in once more. Bertrand as well, thanks very much for tuning in. Hello. DJ Heaven, good evening, hope you are well. DJ going for a 4-0 victory today for City. Dudley going for a 3-0 victory for Manchester City. Rabbit going for a 5-0 victory for Manchester City. Mixed going for 3-1 to City. Rico, hello, going for an 8-0 victory. I love Rico's predictions. Crazy predictions out there. He's changed it now. He's put it to 9. Why not? Boy Racer going for 3-1, tuning in from New Jersey, United States of America. Thank you very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. DJ Heaven, of course, the team. It's locked, loaded, in, ready to go. Rabbit going for Man City to be 1-0 in the first half, then second half put Haaland on and he'll end up scoring 4 goals and Man City go on to win this game by 5-0. And Alex, thanks very much for tuning in. Not currently looking for any moderators at the moment. If you just keep tuning into my live watch-alongs, if I'm needing moderators, I'll just make an announcement that I need moderators and I'll ask people to declare their interest, and then I'll just pick people that I've been interacting a lot with throughout the season who I know and trust will be able to do a good job is how I go about the moderators. So yeah, there we go. And DJ Heaven, good to hear. So we're going to go through the teams. We're going to start off with our opponents, Bristol City of the Championship. So let's start off with them, as we've already got some games underway in the FA Cup. 23 minutes in, currently Stoke City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. And 7 minutes in, Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. So, right. So, Bristol City. Bump. I'll ban them. There we go. Done. FIFA, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. So, today's team, Bristol City will start with first. Max O'Leary starts in goal. George Tanner starts as their right back. And Cameron Pring as their left back. Looks like a flat back four from them. So, Zach Vayner starting alongside Tomas Kalas. Then it's a midfield three made up of Alex Scott, who ITV, who are covering today's game, are saying he's one player to look out for. He's in and around the England, he's been in and around the England youth setup, and he's been very impressive apparently for Bristol City with under Nigel Pearson. So he's a player to look out for. He plays in holding midfield. They've also got Matty James, former Man United youngster, starting alongside Joe Williams, and then it looks like it's Sam Bell starting as their striker. Nahki Wells gets the nod on the left wing, and Mark Sykes gets the nod on the right wing. It's Matty James captaining Bristol City today, former youth academy player at Manchester United, so he'll be wanting to try and do a job on City today, I am sure, from his roots in his youth roots. On the bench for Bristol City today is Hakin, their goalkeeper. You've also got Wilson, Dasilva, Morrison, King, Weimann, Francois, Thomas and Taylor Clark. Some dangers there for Man City. Let's not forget, Bristol City are unbeaten in 12, unbeaten since Boxing Day. Starting to rejuvenate their season under Nigel Pearson in the Championship. And definitely a team that are well organised, well drilled. They know where the back of the net is. They know how to defend. So this is a difficult game for Manchester City, and they need to be on it. Manchester City starting 11 for today. It's Stefan Ortega-Moreno that's given the nod in goal, as Ederson is on the bench. Man City going with a back three once more. It looks like it's going to be Manuel Akanji at the right side of centre-back, Nathan Ake on the left side of centre-back, and Ruben Dias going through the middle. It's Rico Lewis and Kalvin Phillips that are going to sit in defensive midfield for Manchester City today. Further ahead of them, they will have the support of Bernardo Silva, who's going to be doing a lot of roaming, I've got a feeling. And Kevin De Bruyne starts to complete Man City's midfield for today. It's Riyad Mahrez on the right wing. Phil Foden gets the nod on the left wing. And Julian Alvarez, the Spider, starts up top for Manchester City today. Kevin De Bruyne, captain in City. On the bench, very strong as you'd expect. Ederson, Kyle Walker, Rodri, Sergio Gomez, Jack Grealish, Cole Palmer, Maximo Perrone, Ilkay Gundogan and Erling Haaland. Man City will be hoping that they will be able to not have to use these first team players, that they can have a full rest and they'll be good to go for Saturday early afternoon's game against Newcastle United in the Premier League. But first we've got to focus here. It might be against a team in a lower division than us, but they're a team that are in good form. They're a well-drilled team. Won't be an easy game away from home. Packed out Ashton Gate too. Man City have been playing every 3 to 4 days. There'll be a bit of fatigue in the legs of a couple of the players as well. So Man City really need to turn up and showcase their talent, and they need to work hard, because Bristol City will bring the energy. They will be motivated for this game. So Man City need to play well. If City don't play well, this could be a very, very difficult and long evening for Man City. And I don't need to remind you guys, I'm sure, that Man City already come unstuck in one domestic cup this season after doing the hard work against both Chelsea and Liverpool at home, going out to Southampton away. We've done the business against Chelsea and Arsenal at home in the FA Cup. We're away from home now against Bristol City in a game that you would expect Manchester City to win, and it just has not happened. So that is what Manchester City need to do. So we've got, what, 15 minutes or so countdown to kick off. What's your score predictions? I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory today for Manchester City. Solid and a nice clean sheet. That's what we're looking for. That would be absolutely brilliant. Bertram, thanks very much for tuning in. Just seeing what people are saying in the chat. FIFA, thanks very much for tuning in. Going for a 10-0 victory for Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne with a hat-trick. Not too sure that's going to happen, but there we go. Brad, thanks very much for tuning in as well. Bertrand, no replays, straight to extra time. If it can't be decided after extra time, it will be going to penalties. Replays no longer a thing this far into the tournament. I think they end after the 4th round. So no replays today, straight to extra time and penalties. So winner takes all clash. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup is what is at stake. Should be a good game, I'm hoping here. I'm hoping for a good solid win for Man City. Don't want extra time. Certainly don't want penalties. We want a nice solid performance. And hopefully a clean sheet as well. That would be brilliant. Shivansh, thanks very much for tuning in. Saying, do I think we need a right winger? In an ideal world, you want a winger that can cover both the right and the left-hand side, really. Riyad Mahrez predominantly plays on the right-hand side. Jack Grealish predominantly plays on the left-hand side. We've not really ever seen Mahrez play on the left-hand side. We've not ever seen Jack Grealish play on the right-hand side. The only winger, that we've got that can cover both through the centre on the right and on the left is Phil Foden. So there we go. That is what we are. That's the situation that we're in. Man City may well have a look at wingers in the summer. I have a feeling City are probably going to have a good long look at central midfielders. I feel like the middle of the park is the place that Man City are needing a bit of energy to be brought in. And in an ideal world, Man City would be wanting to bring in an experienced player who's very used to being inverted, that can sit obviously alongside Rodri, who'd be versatile to sit on the left-hand side, who can also play probably at centre-back as well. And rather than signing a player for a specific position, a player will be bought in. If you get where I'm coming from here, a player will be brought into Manchester City in mind of being a squad player, a player that can cover an area of the field where they want them to be. So we will see, of course, we will see. I've just been informed that there is a goal, so let's have a look. Yes, there is. Stoke City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. First goal of the FA Cup 5th round this evening. Some games already ahead of Manchester City. So everybody, we are on 21 likes, which is fantastic. We're just 79 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the live chat, your score prediction for this game and where you're tuning in from. And also, don't forget as well to what have we got? Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description. You've got around 6 to 7 minutes or so for you to get your teams in. So if you're based in the UK and you're 18 or over, you can come and join BetMate. It's much like fantasy football. You select your team based on which players you're going to think are going to perform in this game. You score points, and this pot today is worth £400, paying up to the top 30 places. So plenty of opportunities to win some money as well, which is good. And I'm looking to try and win my first ever BetMate pot. I think the highest, I finished second in one of the pots, but I think it was one of the freebies, so it wasn't my biggest payout. And I think I've placed in like the top 10 a couple of times. It'd be really good if today would be the day that we win a pot. That would be brilliant. First place paying £120, and it's a £5 entry fee. And if you sign up using my link, then on the sign up code, just use code JSGC10 and that'll give you £10 in free bets and you can join the pot for 3. So there we go. That pretty much is everything. Yeah, not really too much else to to speak about. We've got a big Premier League game coming up at the weekend against Newcastle. We've got some great entertainment for you guys planned today, including Mixed once more providing a video at half time for you guys, but also got some other special stuff planned for you guys to look forward to, including we're going to be speaking about Man City's new proposals that have been put forward today in terms of an expansion of the Etihad Stadium, and also some other bits and bobs happening around the stadium. So I did do a video on this, and we've had further clarification about what is happening at the consultation stage. So at half time, I'll share my screen. I'm going to show you guys what's been planned and what's been said, and giving you my thoughts on that. And we've also got a little quiz as well for you guys to enjoy. So I've got some really good halftime entertainment for you guys to stick around for. So do stay tuned for that. But that's at halftime. We've got the juice of the live watch-along coming up very soon with Bristol City taking on Manchester City. John, hello. Cheers. Thanks very much for tuning in. Rabbit says, biggest shock tomorrow coming from the South Coast. Southampton 0, Grimsby 3. That's a massive call. That's massive. Is it going to happen? That is the question. So, just looking, if Man City do go through today, we'll be moving from the last 16 to the last 8, obviously. Brighton are in a good position, 35 minutes in, 1-0 up away from home against Stoke. Leicester are playing Blackburn today. That's currently 0-0. And Fulham are playing Leeds, which is also 0-0. Leicester-Blackburn's in the 18th minute, and Fulham-Leeds is in the 4th minute, with this game kicking off at 8 p.m. Shivansh going for 3-0 to Manchester City. On Wednesday, you've got Southampton taking on Grimsby, Burnley taking on Fleetwood Town, Manchester United taking on West Ham, and Sheffield United taking on Spurs. So it'll become much more of a lottery, I feel, after this round. Quarter-finals, a place at Wembley on the line in them games. Funny things can happen. So in an ideal world, we want Man City to go through injury-free today, nice and comfortable. A clean sheet would be a big bonus as well, and just get straight in to the quarterfinals taking place just before the international break. Now, Man City do, if they go through, our Premier League game against West Ham on the 18th or 19th of March, whenever it is. That game will be postponed due to the FA Cup and Man City having a game in the quarterfinals if they go through today. If Man City do end up going out, do keep an eye on Man United West Ham, because if West Ham knock Man United out, whilst it would be funny, does mean that Man City would end up having a 3-week break also between games after the Leipzig game at home. But if West Ham go out and Man City go out, then that game on Sunday, I think it's on Sunday the 19th, will go ahead. The kickoff for today is at 8 p.m. We are 7 minutes or so away from kickoff here. Rabbit reckons 200 likes. That would be brilliant. Well, first aim for 100 likes. We're 78 likes away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, social media links. They're in the description below, and also on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. We'll put an early one out there for you guys. We've got daily transfer updates coming from June throughout the summer transfer window. So a really good opportunity there for any potential sponsors. Just let me know through my email. We'll see if we can work things out. Emails are great when it comes to proposals and things being put forward. I've got some halftime entertainment that came about through an email yesterday, and I got sorted for today. So sometimes things can be put on short notice. That isn't a problem. So if you've got any thoughts or anything, just let me know through my email. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. As the pot closes very soon, so if you want to go and join, you have to be very quick for today's pot. So sold out Ashton Gate. The players are in the tunnel, and Man City look like they're going to be playing in their home kits today, so no away strips. Seamus, hello, thanks for tuning in. Going for 2-1 Man City. Won't be easy. I'm going for 2-0 Man City, and for the game not to be easy is my prediction for this game. Bristol City fans well up for this. I imagine Man City... We're just going to have to suss out Bristol City for the first 10 minutes or so, I feel. Give them no space. Let them tire. Force them onto the back foot. And if we can create an opportunity or two in the first 10 minutes or so, we can be clinical. And we can put ourselves in a really strong position. We don't want to concede first. Makes life very difficult for City. Rabbit reckons 5-0 until Haaland will come on. And then Man City will be able to get going there. And having Haaland to help ease Man City's problems here. We'll see. We'll see. Bertrand going for an outrageous 4-3 goal fest. That'll be really interesting. Really interesting. I'm hoping Man City is going to keep it simple and straightforward. I feel like we want a really good, really solid result here to take into the weekend's game against Newcastle, because that's not going to be an easy game. Newcastle are going to want a response from their disappointing loss in the Carabao Cup final against Man United. They're going to want to keep things tight. They're a difficult team to break down. So, yeah. I just feel like Man City's best prep for that game would be getting a really good result here. So, we will see. We will see. Rightio. Yo, Dad, thanks very much for tuning in. Going for a 3-0 victory for Manchester City. Bertrand, we don't want a 1-0 Will Grigg victory at Wigan that time. What year was that? It's like 4 or 5 years ago, was it? DW Stadium. They were in League One at the time as well. As Pep Guardiola and Nigel Pearson shake hands. So Man City starting today with Ortega-Moreno in goal. It's a back three of Akanji, Dias and Ake. And then in midfield, it's Rico Lewis alongside Kalvin Phillips, Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. On the right wing is Riyad Mahrez. On the left wing is Phil Foden. And up top is Argentina striker Julian Alvarez, who apparently is close to signing a new contract at Man City. I mean, he is contracted until 2027, but Man City wanted to put a year-long extension onto his contract to keep him tied down until 2028 and give him a pay rise that fairly reflects his importance to the first team squad, after some rumours were going around saying that he was he was thinking about leaving, and there was some interest from Spain potentially wanting to leave on loan, but none of that has materialised. As we're going to have a minute's applause at the stadium for, I think it's for John Motson, a former football commentator who sadly passed away in the last week or so, which is really, really sad. So rest in peace to John, and also thoughts with everyone at the JSGC channel with his friends and family at this very difficult time. Julia, good evening. Thanks very much for tuning in. Adam, thank you very much for tuning in. Going for a 5-0 victory for Man City today. You will notice a very strange camera angle at Ashton Gate. They've got a bigger main stand and the camera is literally right at the back of the stand. So it kind of reminds me of the weird angle they have at Anfield. So if you notice a very strange camera angle of today's game, then that is why. That's where the cameras are positioned. It looks very steep. It looks like they're really, really high up. You think this was a camera being used at the new camp rather than at Ashton Gate, but it's been used at Ashton Gate instead. As we do have kickoff for this game. Man City are in their away strip. I thought they was in their blue home kits. It looked like in the jackets that there was in the home kits, but they're in their Bumblebee kits once more. Man City attacking from left to right, with Bristol City attacking from right to left. So Man City in their away strip Bumblebee kit of that fluorescent yellow and black stripes, black shorts and fluorescent yellow socks. Bristol City attacking from right to left, playing in their home shirt of red shirts, white shorts and red socks. As Man City have had the ball for the last 40 seconds or so, building it from the back. Here is Kalvin Phillips, plays a pass forward to Bernardo Silva, manages to poke it through the legs before being dispossessed, and then a poor pass comes in from Bristol City, allows Man City to have a little bit of space. De Bruyne finds Riyad Mahrez on the right-hand side. Mahrez thought about putting a ball into the box, wants a bit of support. He gets it from Kalvin Phillips, who's having only second start of the game, and Kalvin Phillips has a shot from 30 yards, and it strikes the crossbar before bouncing clear. A cracking effort that from Kalvin Phillips. Nearly catches keeper O'Leary off guard. I'm not sure if he gets a little finger onto it and tips it onto the crossbar or not, but that was a good effort from Kalvin Phillips, building on his 40 minutes that he got in Man City's last game away at Bournemouth, looking to really settle himself into this game, and inside the first minute having a shot and hitting the crossbar and nearly putting Manchester City ahead. A good effort that from Kalvin Phillips. So Bristol City managed to snuff the ball away from Man City, and they're going to try and build it from the back. They clear it, get the lines clear. Ruben Dias steps forward and wins the ball back. Kalvin Phillips, though, is dispossessed, and Bristol City can play a ball forward. There's a slip from Akanji, and Bristol City are in the penalty area here. Shot comes in, and it takes a deflection and wide. I think it took a deflection anyway. From Bell it was, who was in a good position there. So it was Kalvin Phillips initially that was dispossessed. It was Akanji stepping forward, doesn't make the interception. He was nowhere near that one. And Bell was in a really good position, doesn't notice the run of his man, and instead went for a shot. I don't blame him this early in the cup game. Anything can happen having a shot. Ruben Dias gets in the right place at the right time. He makes the block. But it does mean that Bristol City here, set pieces might be one way for them to get back into this game. Alec, thanks very much for tuning in. So they take it short, and a cross comes in low, cleared by Kalvin Phillips. Bristol City have to work this all the way back to O'Leary in goal. He sends it long, sends it forward. Header won by Kevin De Bruyne. Doesn't find a City man. He steps forward there, De Bruyne. Nearly gets the interception. Managed to get the header clear, but Bristol City mop up that loose second ball. There's a run here on the right wing. Cross comes in, and it's good defensive work there from... was it Ruben Dias, I think it was? And Man City can come forward. DJ going for a 4-0 victory for City. Andy and Alison, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Vishnu, thanks very much for tuning in as well. Very much end-to-end this game at the moment. Man City have gone closest through hitting the crossbar through Kalvin Phillips. Bristol City's had a block shot deflected wide and out for a corner. So a good opening 4 minutes or so to this game as Rico Lewis works it to the right-hand side now. City inside the Bristol City half. Riyad Mahrez with the ball on the right-hand side. Centralises it to Rico Lewis. Here is Kalvin Phillips being given a lot of space. Could have played the pass forward there to Alvarez. He doesn't. Alvarez looked a bit frustrated there. And his arms held out, offering for him to receive the ball, and doesn't get the ball. And instead, Man City go goes sideways. So you can understand a bit of the frustration. That's gone out of play, and the flag's not gone up. Bernardo Silva stopped playing. That went out of play. I don't know why the throw-in weren't given there, but Man City can play on here. I'm going to presume there's no VAR here, because there is no VAR in the Championship. So I don't think it's set up to have the video assistant referee. So any goals or not goals that aren't given, the original decision on field will stand. As far as I'm aware, no VAR for this game. That goes out of play for a throw-in, I think, to Bristol City. Now, straight onto the crossbar from Kalvin Phillips. It was a good effort, about 25 yards out. Whips his foot round onto it and just hits the top of the crossbar and bounces clear a yard under. And the keeper was struggling to reach that one. That could have been the opening goal. A good effort, that, from Kalvin Phillips. The Bill, thanks very much for tuning in. We'll speak about VAR in a minute. City are in the penalty area. Foden tries a low ball across. Doesn't beat the trailing leg of the Bristol City defender. And ball bounces back out for City to have attempt number 2 at the ball in the box. And it's not a very good one. And O'Leary can collect it with his very 1980s looking goalkeeping strip for Bristol City. Lots of multicolours being used on a dark background. So, yeah, no VAR in this game, and the whole point of VAR was to make sure we got correct decisions, and we still don't get correct decisions, so it just makes VAR a bit pointless. It takes away the initial celebrations from the fans. It's just a bit farcical, as people say. It's a good concept if it's used correctly and it's done competently, but it isn't. Rabbit informs me Blackburn Rovers 1-0 up. Let's have a look. And they are away at Leicester. Dolan given the lead for Blackburn Rovers of the Championship. 0-0 between Fulham and Leeds. 0-0 here. And Brighton are still 1-up at half-time against Stoke. So I'm going to look at the scores around the ground. Low ball comes across, and there's the opening goal. It's Phil Foden in the right place at the right time to give Manchester City an all-important first goal and the lead here at Ashton Gate. It's a good ball squared across from Manchester City. Phil Foden finds himself in a bit of space and just tucks it across the keeper and into the top corner, and giving Manchester City an early lead here at Ashton Gate. It was a good ball across from Nathan Ake. Riyad Mahrez received the ball. Kevin De Bruyne plays the pass into the channel with Riyad Mahrez. He's onside, squares it across really well, and Phil Foden timed his run perfectly, just a stroke home, and he won't have an easier finish all season, really. Tucks that in really well. Right place at the right time. Good overall work, that, from City. And Manchester City grabbed the opening goal here. And as Alex says there, nice and easy from City. Phil Foden building on his very recent good form with City, grabbing an early goal as well, which is what we like to see. As Bristol City get themselves a free kick in a good position here. Rabbit informs me 1-0 Fulham. All goals then in the FA Cup have seen all games in the FA Cup have seen goals going, which is good to see. So don't forget, if you're enjoying the content, please leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 100 likes. We're now 71 likes away. Subscribe as well if you're new around here, and go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description. And also in the live chat. So a free kick here for Bristol City and some defending for Man City to do after just finding the opening goal through Phil Foden. On the left-hand side, and a good opportunity to put a ball into the box. They choose not to. They're going to play it short and into the penalty area for running into trouble, and Akanji can make the tackle, and then a deflection. That didn't look like it took a deflection. From a shot comes in and out for a corner to Bristol City. Which, again, Bristol City choose to take short. They're trying to catch Man City out. Problem is, the things that they're putting into the box aren't very good. It's blocked, and Man City can come away here on the counter-attack. There's free coming forward. It's Kevin De Bruyne that plays a nice ball forward It's a little bit too much on that. It's the right idea from Kevin De Bruyne and picked off by O'Leary in goal. Tell you what, De Bruyne gets that ball right in Bristol City, we're in bother them. My surprise is Kevin De Bruyne didn't get that pass right. You'd expect Kevin De Bruyne to get that pass right. Kevin De Bruyne returning back to the starting 11 for Manchester City after overcoming a small illness, not been feeling very well. And back in the starting 11 for Man City, which is good to see. Bristol City having the squeeze put onto them by Manchester City. Bernardo Silva plays the ball into space, not picked up by Kalvin Phillips, not picked up by Phil Foden. Man City in the end work the ball back, and then it's not the greatest of passes from Phil Foden, and Bristol City can come forward on a 4-on-5 situation, get it into the right hand side. Rico Lewis caught to square, uses a hand. They want a penalty. It looks like he's picked the ball up there, the Bristol City player, after going down. Eventually Man City get themselves a free kick. I don't understand why a free kick weren't given to City. So Sykes puts his hand on the elbow. It's not a penalty. There's not enough contact there for him to go down. Sykes is in a really good position now. I think Sykes needs to be a little bit stronger and a little bit more physical on Rico Lewis and protect his body a little bit more. I thought he was just going to protect the ball and try and get by a foul by being tripped up or something, or a push in the back. He gets a little hand on the arm and then just kind of throws himself to the ground. There's not really a lot of contact, but Rico Lewis, lesson is to be learnt there, and that's keep his hands to himself, because put your hand on a player and he goes down, albeit it's weak, but a penalty could have been given there. And if a penalty was given, I'd sit here and I'd say it's weak. I don't think it's a penalty, but you're giving the referee a reason to give a penalty there. Didn't need to have his hand on Sykes. I don't really understand why Sykes weren't a bit more physical, and that's a good ball forward. I don't think Phil Foden's realised that the keeper O'Leary had come off his goal there. Adam, I can confirm me and Mixed have got no plans right now to be doing shots videos. Whilst they're very enjoyable and very fun, we do only do them for special occasions. They also don't agree with us. The hard work, we end up feeling very worse for wear. During the challenge, if not during the challenge, within the hour of doing them. So we've done a few. We have no plans to do any more. I only do them for special occasions. Man City, reaching Champions League finals and FA Cup finals and winning Premier League and things like that are the only time we're doing for special occasions. Last one we did was for my wedding, which is a special occasion. And we did them for Halloween as well, as a little special, but no plans to do any more anytime soon. Ortega-Moreno then into Rico Lewis. There's a pass into Julian Alvarez. Drops deep, receives the ball, finds the pass once more. Can't help but feel like Julian Alvarez plays best when there's two strikers on the pitch, and he's one of them, rather than a lone striker or him playing out of position, out wide. Bertram, thanks very much, and yes. Right there. That's a good pass into space again. Bristol City getting the ball in and around in the penalty area, and Kalvin Phillips makes a challenge, and it's a good challenge from Manchester City. The offside flag does go up against Bristol City, but good defending nonetheless. That was a good decision. It was just offside. It's a good challenge that from Kalvin Phillips, though, I think it was on Nahki Wells. Yeah, it was. It's a Seamus, I agree. It is a good open game, this, for Man City so far. The physios are coming on. I'm not sure who this is for. I think it's for the goalkeeper, Ortega-Moreno. I think he's injured his hand, just going low down to receive the ball. That's not good. Mixed wanting to have a look at weird and wonderful cocktail. Maybe Mixed needs a little trip to Poland for some inspiration. I mean, Ederson's not exactly warming up right now, is he? Sat on the bench, keeping his hands warm, yawning, is Ederson's response to Ortega-Moreno's hand injury. So Man City lead here, first 15 minutes. Phil Foden with the goal. Man City now need to be pushing, trying to get that killer second goal, that killer 2-goal cushion. This could take the real sting away from Bristol City. Lovely diagonal football played forward there to Julian Alvarez. A good nod down, and Rico Lewis can build Man City's attack. Long ball football played accurately, that from Manchester City. I have to be careful not saying City because we're playing Bristol City today. Here's Ruben Dias. Julian Alvarez. That's a good pass from Alvarez. Finds Kevin De Bruyne. Whips a ball to the left-hand side. Here's Foden. He's going to drill one across, and Alvarez can sort his feet out. Could have had a tap in there, Julian Alvarez, if he got his feet sorted out. His left and his right foot end up getting in the way of each other. And because of it, doesn't get a clean connection, and Bristol City can get it forward and try and launch an attack for themselves as Akanji just deals with that well, and Kalvin Phillips can work the ball into space well into Rico Lewis, and Man City can come forward once more. Here's Kevin De Bruyne now to Manuel Akanji. De Bruyne now receives the ball to Ruben Dias. Here's Manuel Akanji. Man City being rushed by Bristol City, but City, I'm just about to say comfortable, working the ball around, but Riyad Mahrez gets dispossessed. City try and win the ball back, but concede a free kick. Today's half-time video entertainment is... Let me have a look. Tequila Slammer is the one I've got prepared for today. There's Man City breakaway here. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Finds Julian Alvarez. It's a good sliding challenge. Alvarez really wanted that ball further ahead of him rather than behind him. A bit of a weak pass from KDB. That's a heavy touch from Bristol, but they can work it. They can work it to the left-hand side. Here's Scott in the penalty area. There's a shot! And looks well offside there as the shot came in. Looking dangerous, Bristol City. I don't think the offside flag ever went up. One of the players ran across the goal, got in the way of the vision as the shot went in. He was in an offside position. It should have been offside, but I don't think the flag ever went up. So if that had have gone in, and that would count it, I'd have been furious. Andrew, hello. Thanks very much for tuning in. Long ball comes forward from City towards Bernardo Silva. He's stayed on side as well. Gives it to Phil Foden now. Back to Bernardo. Just kind of went into trap it there, Phil Foden, just when he peeled off the defender. then turned to try and find Bernardo, but Bernardo never made a forward run. He held his run as Kalvin Phillips tries to work it to Riyad Mahrez. Headed clear by Bristol City. They send the ball forward from their clearance, which is dealt with by both Phillips and Rico Lewis. Lewis now plays a good ball into Phil Foden. On the left-hand side, gives it to Bernardo Silva. Kept himself on side and a cross comes in. And good ball in. Only Alvarez to aim at, though, was the problem. As a Bristol City player chucks himself to the ground. I think the bigger problem Bristol City are having is it's creating stuff for them. It's a cup tie. They're having a good proper go, and I don't blame them. Their best route into this game, now they're 1-0 behind, is doing what they're doing. It's just that it's leaving space. Man City have got far too much quality. far too much quality that if you're going to give this City team space, they'll get punished. Bournemouth found out the hard way on Saturday evening, and Bristol City seem to be doing the exact same approach here. Different formation, but the exact same approach. We're going to attack. We're going to try and cause Man City problems. We're going to have a pop. And I respect it. I mean, it's entertaining. It's good to watch. You stand every chance. You know, if teams come forward and have a pop at us, and they do just grab that all-important first goal, then Man City will struggle. They'll be under a lot of pressure. So I like that approach. I think it's a good approach. You can kind of understand why teams park the bus instead and limit Man City's space. Doesn't make the game very pretty. Can be effective. It's a little bit like Manchester United, and you have a look at their form and why they're still getting their name mentioned in the title race, is because a lot of teams play against Manchester United sit there very open. And because they sit there very open, they've got the quality there that they'll just work their way around the issues and the problems. Thanks very much, Alec. Appreciate the support and the kind comment there. Eventually, teams will wise up to it, and eventually teams will stop having a pop at Man City if they realise actually they're giving City far too much space, and City are going out there. If they can score, 2, 3, 4 goals in a game, teams are eventually just going to say, we're going to shut up shop very early, and we'll try and keep it as close as possible in the hope that we can just cling on and do something. Doesn't make the games very interesting. I've got a feeling Newcastle are going to do that on Saturday. They're just going to sit there and they're going to absorb. That was a cracking pass from Nathan Ake. It's just a shame that just beyond Bernardo Silva there. Really good ball played into the channel. It was a good attempted pass from Ake. Bristol City are dispossessed in a position here. City could be 4-on-2. Kevin De Bruyne has a shot. It's blocked. Mahrez gets a foot onto it, headed clear, and it looks like it was off the line. I think that was going wide, but Bristol City taking no chances, and Man City don't punish. Worked their way into trouble there. It was a 4-on-2 momentarily. Mahrez wanted the ball to come across. I think De Bruyne makes the right choice in having the shot himself first. Man City take the corner short. De Bruyne whips a ball in. Ruben Dias! It's a good header and a good save from O'Leary. And Bristol City are just... They see the danger, they deal with the danger, and automatically just think to themselves, boom! We want to counter, we want to attack, we want to do something. I like it. It's been a good game. DJ, thanks very much for your kind comment there. Very heartwarming for me. So long ball played forward from Bristol City, headed down, and they've managed to come away with the second ball here. So don't forget, if you are enjoying the content, subscribe, leave a thumbs up. We're 65 likes now, away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details there in the description, and also in the live chat. Man City want the offside flag and get the offside flag. Man City, even though we've been conceding, we just look better, more organised when we've got Ruben Dias in the team, in my opinion. Our defensive line, it looks more organised, it looks more settled. And I don't know why. I love Ederson to bits. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper, and I'm not part of the band that thinks Ortega-Moreno should be starting ahead of Ederson. I don't think that for 1 minute. Ederson, for what he can bring to Manchester City, certainly when Man City backs against the wall in terms of his distribution, is fantastic. He's the best in the world at it. But when we've got Ortega-Moreno in goal, I know he's a very good shot stopper, I just think to myself, even if Man City make a mistake and Bristol City are going to come forward, I just feel like it's going to beat Ortega-Moreno, it's going to take something really special. It's going to take a really good goal to score past him. So I'll take confidence from that. My wife, all right, downstairs, chilling, watching TV. I don't hear any commotions, so I presume all's good. So 26.5 minutes in, Bristol City 0, Manchester City 1. Phil Foden's goal inside the opening 10 minutes, the difference here. It's been a good game of football. It's been a pretty end-to-end. Bristol City have had a really good pot. They're pressing really well. I think they've started to tire a little bit. Yeah, completely spot on, Alec. Yeah, City have looked more stable. We've had that. It's just a shame we've had that one disappointing result against Nottingham Forest. That we literally the crime we, apart from a bit of poor defending, but the bigger crime was we didn't put our opportunities away. If City put their opportunities away, there'd be no problems. A draw in Germany, yeah, we led. Was good first half, but second half Leipzig were much better, and a draw in Germany. They're the team that haven't won that game. Man City take them to Manchester, go and beat them and do the business. I'm not that concerned about the Champions League match. I think that 1-1 draw in Leipzig is a pretty good result. And if it was in the group stage and Man City were in the top seed and RB Leipzig were in pot 2 and we're facing them away from home and we drew, I'd regard that as a good result. So I think that's a good result as well. So, since the Spurs lost, the only thing that's been a bit disappointing was that Nottingham Forest match. All the other games, good against Bournemouth, very good against Arsenal, beat Villa, good against Villa. So, you do just feel like Man City, hopefully they're starting to turn the corner. And what Man City just need to do is making sure that they're building on their success, that they do manage to get to put a run together, just win 3-4 games in a row, all competitions, and I'll do the team the world of good. Can win this game, head into Newcastle, beat them, that's 3 wins in a row, and we've got a week off then, and then we can focus towards the last few games before the international break, and just kind of split the season up, just take things in 3-4 game stints. Seems very slippy, the pitch. They play rugby union. You can see on the lines on the pitch. So no, the pitch isn't in great condition. But the ball seems to be knocking around all right. It's just a bit greasy. Players falling over. Here's Kalvin Phillips. That's good work from Julian Alvarez, dropping deeper to receive the ball. Problem is, he's dropped so deep now, we've got no player at centre forward. He's managed to get forward now, Julian Alvarez, but Man City have just had to knock it around. This is the advantage you'd have playing a front two. One player, one of the attackers wants to drop deep, they can drop deep, and Man City can stick with another striker that you still got the option of one. Ortega-Moreno's long ball forward, finds Phil Foden, he heads it along, but doesn't find a City man. Pass comes in for Bristol City, he's in offside position, so stops chasing after it, and that's a throw into City. That's a heavy touch from Kevin De Bruyne. He gets away with it. Rico Lewis just has the freedom in the middle. Runs through it. De Bruyne now on the left-hand side. Chance for him to whip a ball in. Gets it onto his right foot. Phil Foden now. Gives it to Kalvin Phillips. City got players lining up here. Ake gives it to Kevin De Bruyne. Kalvin Phillips now. Akanji. Here's Riyad Mahrez. City just happy to keep a bit of possession here. Akanji gives it to Riyad Mahrez, and Bristol City drop into a deeper formation now. As I said, the press isn't really there. As De Bruyne has a shot, it's high and it's wide. I was just about to say that now would be a really good time for Man City to find that killer second goal while they're tiring. Not the greatest effort from De Bruyne. Sat up well for him. Not a great effort in the end. So a goal kick, O'Leary's going to take, and he's going to send it long. Tells his defenders to go up and get this as far away from his goal as possible, which is probably sensible. O'Leary sends it long. Not often you see a goalkeeper wearing the number 12 shirt. Here's Riyad Mahrez. He goes down. That should be a free kick to City. Nicely bought there from Mahrez. So don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That would be great. We're 64 likes away from 100 likes. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details there in the description. And also in the live chat. People speaking wanting Haaland. I'm not sure we'll see Erling Haaland. If Man City can grab another goal, then not sure we'll see Haaland in this game. I mean, we've chosen not to start him, so that's a chance for him to have a rest. And how many games is there between the international break and this? We've got, I think, 4. So don't really need to be risking Haaland if we don't need to in this game, because Haaland will probably start them 4 games against Newcastle, Palace, Leipzig, and either West Ham in the Premier League or a quarter-final FA Cup appearance. And that'll take us into the international break. So, all good for City at the moment. Managed to grab the opening goal. See if we can grab a second. Not many shots really going in, but that's fine. As I said, Bristol City just starting to sit a little bit deeper, not pressing as much. And because of that, puts Man City in a good position. It's not the greatest of passes, that. Bristol City then send it long. Header flicked on. So we're cleared by Manuel Akanji. Finds Julian Alvarez's head somehow. Only for Bristol City to mop that one up. And O'Leary's forced quickly into a ball forward. Manages to find a Bristol City player. Only to find Bernardo. Phil Foden missed out on the ball before an inaccurate pass comes in from Bristol City. Getting a bit scrappy as Man City once again dispossessed. A bit of space here for Bristol City to work in now. Kalvin Phillips covers the channel so the inside pass can't come in. Cuts inside himself and then a shot goes high and wide. Good defending that from Manchester City. Really good defending. They covered the space really well. Rico Lewis had stepped forward. So it always, with the back three, always looks like Man City, because they've not got four at the back, always look a little bit further exposed. But Rico Lewis does really well there. Manages to get himself back on his feet, get himself back into a good position. And forces the shot to go miles above the goal there. So he can't get a clean connection with a shot on goal. A good recovery after slipping there from Rico Lewis. And once again, we're speaking about the pitch. I said it's a greasy pitch. Really greasy pitch. And players falling over. As I think the ball's going out of play for a throw into Bristol City. City had stopped playing. As Riyad Mahrez did everything he could to try and keep that one in from Stefan Ortega-Moreno. And Bristol City, I think, have managed to keep that in. No. Oh no, throw into Manchester City. Seamus, I'm going to be covering that at half-time, the new development ideas, so I'll take you through it. Got all the things set up for it. So we'll speak more in detail about that at half-time. Here is Bristol City coming forward and managed to get themselves a corner. So 9 minutes or so to go until half-time. Bristol City are only 1-0 down, still in the cup tie. Got themselves a corner. Chance here to get some players forward, get the defenders up. See if they pass it round, or see if they're going to whip a ball. It looks like they're going to whip a ball in. Matty James it is. Puts a ball in. It's a good ball in to the near post. Headed clear well by Kalvin Phillips. Worked to the right-hand side. Looked offside, and it's not a great pass either. Out of play for a throw into Manchester City. So, some defending there for City to do. And done successfully. Another minute ticks away towards half-time. Bristol City 0, Manchester City 1. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 64 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well. If you're new around here, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. Is Stefan Ortega-Moreno, Kalvin Phillips, Ruben Dias now. Here's Rico Lewis. Akanji works it backwards to Ortega. Sends it long. Dealt with well by Bristol City, that, and they can come away with the ball as well. They're rushing their play, they don't need to. That was a needless giveaway, and Phil Foden does really well to... He will get a free kick. I was going to say he did really well to avoid being fouled. Well, in the end he was. I think Phil Foden's received an elbow in the face there. Or shoulder to the face from Scott. And face is a bit red from Foden, but nothing else. Perfectly fine to continue. 6 minutes or so to go till we're going to added time for heading in for the end of the first half. Man City get themselves a throw-in just near the Bristol City corner flag. Taken and thrown backwards. Here is Nathan Ake now. to Phil Foden. Worked backwards to Ruben Dias. Here's Manuel Akanji now as Bristol City push that defensive line really far forward. Means there's space at the back. And City exploits it. It's a great ball. Foden drilled one low. Dealt with well. And out for a throw into Manchester City. It's a great ball forward. It's a great touch from Foden. Foden's looked good again for Manchester City. Nathan Ake to Bernardo Silva. He flicks one over the top to Ruben Dias. He'll go back to Ortega-Moreno. Back to Ruben Dias. And Man City can build here from the back. Bristol City going with an attacking 4. Bournemouth went with an attacking 5 and always sent 5 forward. Bristol City sending 4 forward. Which means we have 6 defenders and a keeper to beat as well. So, Man City looking for space. Not the greatest clearance that from Rico Lewis. Pep Guardiola's not happy. I think Pep's just making the point there that the space. Play the ball, an accurate ball, into space. That's what City weren't doing there. And Bristol City can come forward. Not the greatest of passes again, cut off by a combination of Foden and Kalvin Phillips. And Nathan Ake can come forward. That's a great touch from Julian Alvarez. Here is Kevin De Bruyne. He has space and a shot. And he's missed the target. How's KDB not found the target there? Not a bad effort from KDB. He's looking for the roof of the net. He isn't far away. Goes for power. It's the right choice. I don't think he was expecting it. Gets it onto his left foot. We know he can hit him with his left foot. And he just gets it a little bit wrong. Just gets too much on it in the end. And that was a real opportunity. That's Man City not being clinical. That should have gone. That should have been 2-0 Man City. And we should have been in a very, very strong position going into half-time. But as it is, it's not got away. Man City haven't got that killer 2-goal cushion, which means more work to be done. Here's Kalvin Phillips. It's very scrappy at points in this midfield. Very scrappy. Phil Foden's been the standout player. Bristol City really struggled to deal with Phil Foden. Ball gets played over the top. Dealt with really well by Nathan Ake. And out for a throw into Bristol City. Bristol City still in the contest. We're thinking they can do something here. They've not been killed off. O'Leary now sends the ball forward. It's a good ball forward, flicked on. And Akanji manages to get the ball off the shins of Sykes and out for a throw-in to Manchester City, which Rico Lewis is going to take. Here's Rico Lewis. Does well to keep the ball in play. Can't find the pass. Cleared by Bristol City. Akanji can get that clear for City. And who's there to take the touch? Phil Foden. And Man City get themselves a free kick. I quite like the Bristol City home goalkeeping kit. A very retro look about it. What's the best way of describing it? Like a early 90s goalkeeping kit. Maybe a late 80s. A bit funky. Not sure about their home kit, the stripes, as a ball gets sent forward again for Foden. Sends a ball in, and Bristol City get it clear for a corner. Very 1994. The type of kit that you'd find back when the football players used to make them VHS tapes with their football skills on and things, if people remember them. The kind of kits they were wearing in them. with all the purple and the yellow. And so corner for City, taken short. De Bruyne whips a ball in, headed clear. Well, as far as Kalvin Phillips, here's Riyad Mahrez. Alex banned red in his house. Don't blame you. Ball whipped in. Ruben Dias has a shot, and it's a great block. In the end, not like it was on its way in. That's good defending from Bristol City, and they keep it at 1-0, literally right on 45 minutes there. Good touch from Ruben Dias. It's a brilliant block. Clean connection. Such a good block that from Bristol City. I reckon we're probably going to go into 1 minute of added on time. We had a small injury with Ortega-Moreno, and City has scored a goal, so it might be 2. I reckon it'll be 1. It's 2. I was wrong. Bristol City send a ball forward. Not the best, and out for a goal kick. So probably got time for one more chance to be created here. Man City leading by 1-0 here against Nigel Pearson's men. With 64 likes and away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details there in the description. And also in the live chat, as Julia informed me, Leicester now 2-0 down. At home to Blackburn Rovers. We'll go through the scores at half-time of this game in around a minute's time. And we'll have a look at some stats, and then we've got some good half-time entertainment here as Bernardo Silva works it to Phil Foden. Phil Foden being my standout man so far in this game. Makes a direct run forward. He had half a yard on his man. He didn't play the ball across. Wasn't really anyone in the box. De Bruyne gives it to Bernardo. Here is Kalvin Phillips with a shot. Slices it, and it is wide, and that could well take us to half-time. So the half started with Kalvin Phillips having an effort from around 25 yards out. He hit the crossbar. And the half's going to end with Kalvin Phillips having an effort from 25 yards out, slicing it and going about 25 yards wide in the end. So O'Leary's going to send this ball long for Bristol City with about 15 seconds or so left of this first half. It's not a great ball from O'Leary and straight out of play for a throw-in. So I imagine City will throw this back into play and the referee will blow the whistle for half-time. City do and play the pass. And there is the half-time whistle here. So it's half-time here at Ashton Gate, down in Bristol on the south-west of England. It's Bristol City 0, Manchester City 1. City leading for a goal for Phil Foden. So, just going to go through the scores very quickly from around the ground as there's some games happening. So, in the FA Cup, in the 73rd minute, it's Stoke City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 2 in the 55th minute. Fulham 1, Leeds 0 at half-time. Bristol City 0, Manchester City 1 at half-time. In the Championship, Preston 0, Coventry 0 at half-time, and Luton Town 0, Millwall 1 is also a half-time score. Half-time scores in League 1, Derby County 1, Cheltenham 0, Lincoln City 1, MK Dons 0, Portsmouth 0, Bolton 0, and Peterborough 0, Charlton Athletic 0. Also, half-time scores in League 2, Gillingham 0, Bradford 1, Harrogate 0, Northampton 0, Wimbledon 1, Stevenage 0, Tranmere 0, Crawley 0, it's just got underway for the second half, and Barrow 0, Salford City 1. Also some half-time scores in Scotland in the Scottish Championship, Dundee 0, Partick Thistle 1, Scottish League 2, Dumbarton 1, Stenhousemuir 0, and Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Forfar Athletic 0. We've also had games in the National League half-time. Torquay 0, Bromley 1, Wrexham 2, Chesterfield 0, Eastleigh 0, York City 0, Halifax Town 1, Wellston 0, Maidenhead 2, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Yeovil 0, Altrincham 1, Borehamwood 1, Dorking Wanderers 0, Barnet 1, Oldham 1, and Maidstone 1, Scunthorpe 0. Also, some half-time scores in the National League North. Kingsland Town 1, Buxton 0, AFC Fylde 3, Farsley Celtic 1, Hereford 0, Chester 0, Peterborough Sports 1, Gloucester City 1, Banbury United 1, Leamington 1, Chorley 1, Boston United 1, and Kettering Town 1, Curzon Ashton 0. National League South, Taunton Town 1, Eastbourne Borough 0, all half-time scores these, by the way. Slough Town 0, Bath City 0, Chippenham Town 1, Worthing 1, Dover Athletic 0, Havant and Waterlooville 0, Farnborough 1, Ebbsfleet United 0, Hamilton Richmond 0, Tunbridge Angels 0, and Welling United 0, Hemel Hempstead Town 0. Full-time score in the United States of America, Portland Timbers 1, Sporting Kansas 0. And the only other division to cover, we've got a couple of games in Italy. Serie A, Cremont 2, Roma 1 finished, and currently half-time, an exciting game in Turin. It is Juventus taking on Torino, the Turin derby there. Juventus 2, Torino 2. Rightio then, guys. Firstly, we've got some half-time entertainment for you guys to enjoy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through first... we're going to go through Man City's plans to unveil concepts for an entertainment destination at the Etihad Stadium and being fan and community consultation. So these are Man City's plans for what they're going to do with the Etihad Stadium. So I've got it up on the club website. So I'm just going to share my screen now. And hopefully you guys can see what I see. So I need to head onto my phone just to make sure that on the stream, because I can't see the chat anymore and I can't see what's happening, so I need to make sure that you guys can all see what I can see. So I need to get my stream up and turn my sound off so nothing's echoing through. So yeah, the screen seems to be working just fine, so I'm going to use this as what's happening. So right here is the design for the North Stand. This is currently where the family stand is for Manchester City. It's obviously covered over 2 tiers. You've got the lower tier and the upper tier. If you look directly opposite where my cursor is of the mouse, just here, this is the south stand where you have the 3 tiers. This is the top tier. Man City's plan when we first had the Etihad Stadium, obviously, was always 3 tiers over here at the sides and then 2 tiers both behind the goal. They expanded the south stand a few years back and gave it a 3rd tier, and the initial designs were to repeat that so the whole stadium was symmetrical. So what was happening in the south stand was replicated in the north stand, and they originally had 4 screens going in each corner of the sections. They currently have screens here and over here, but no screens in the south stand. So I presume those screens will be going back in. But Man City have announced today, certainly in terms of consultation, that they're going to expand the north stand here. They're going to make it, instead of 3 tiers, it's going to be 2 tiers still, but that 2nd tier, the upper tier of the north stand, is going to be made much steeper, and in my opinion is going to be an ideal place to put safe standing for Manchester City, so a chance here to put cheaper season tickets and cheaper match tickets in place, but also a good opportunity with standing to create a little bit more atmosphere, because we do tend to, in this stand, the south stand, we do tend to get quite a bit of atmosphere, particularly around where the away end is. So the away end's around here. We get a good atmosphere to either side of the away end. South stand level 1's always a good place to be in terms of atmosphere, and they've got safe standing there. So I presume with the acoustics of the stadium, Man City will be looking to try and generate more atmosphere around the Etihad Stadium, and I think the best way of doing that, if they're going to put this larger 2nd tier in the north stand, is to have that as safe standing as well. Now you might be asking yourselves, what on earth is this? What's this? What's going on here? Well, Man City have given more details about what this is. I'm not going to sit here. You can go on the club website and you can read about what the plans are. So Man City, they're going to take the capacity to over 60,000 with the expansion. So this is what the expansion of the Etihad Stadium is going to look like, with the larger 2nd tier, much larger. Looks very smart and very nice in my opinion. Man City have also announced that they're going to be having the City Square, which is at the back of the north stand. So here, This is City Square. They're going to be expanding that. They're going to make sure that it's all covered and either indoors or a roof. It looks to me like it's outdoors with a roof put over for the nice rainy Manchester weather that you get. So you're always going to keep yourself dry. And I think it's going to be at home to 3,000 people for a fan zone at Manchester City, I think is the plans. So they said a covered City Square fan zone, capacity of 3,000 with a wide variety of food and drink outlets, a new club shop. So the current club shop you will find is here. So they're going to have a new club shop. I'm not too sure where that's going to be. They haven't announced that. They're also going to put in a museum, and they're also going to put in a hotel, which again waiting for details on the museum. I presume the museum will be integrated as part of the stadium tour. So if you head to places like the Nou Camp, you head to the Bernabeu, you'll get shown around the stadium as a stadium tour, and you'll always be shown around the museum where they celebrate the club's history. And I presume Man City are going to be doing that as well. I presume it'll be a very interactive, it's apparently meant to be a first of its kind, very modern, very inclusive experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to put in place for the museum. And of course, when Man City get this all done and dusted, I'll be covering it on some videos for you guys to enjoy. They've got a hotel as well, which is going to be attached, I think, to either the stadium, or they're going to attach it around here. And the primary use of this hotel is going to be for people wanting to attend Manchester City games or attending concerts at the new development here, the Co-op Arena. That's right here on the edge of the screen that you can see. That's going to be completed in December of this year. We're waiting for the first act to be announced for who's going to be opening the Co-op Arena. And this is right near where you find the Metrolink entrance and exit. I think the line's literally just down here at the Etihad, or it might be just here actually, the Metrolink running through here. But yeah, that's Man City's plans, and that's what they're trying to do here. So that's the expansion of the North Stand, what the stand's going to look like. They've gone through more details. If you want to go and check out the ideas and the developments, then they've got things on display at the Etihad on the 4th of March to Sunday the 26th of March. So you've got near enough all through March to go and check it out with Man City's plans. They've also got it available in other areas of Manchester too, if you want to go and check it out for yourselves. They've got a link here on the club website with more details about the consultation for what they're trying to do here. And as you can see right here, we've got the same pictures. Let's see if I can get them onto the big screen. Yeah, so there's the first plans here of what it's going to look like. I presume that maybe this is the hotel here, maybe. And then there's the expansion of the North Stand as well. So there's plenty of details on here that Man City go into. The most important details: new North Stand, two-tiered stand, taking the capacity to over 60,000. A good opportunity to improve atmosphere at the Etihad, to charge cheaper tickets and get some more safe standing in the stadium, and hopefully the return of 4 screens rather than 2 at the Etihad, and also improving the City Square, as well as adding a new club shop, museum and hotel to the plans as well, which, as I said, you can just go and check out all these details. Or they've released here the North Stand expansion, what it's going to look like on the concourse as well underneath too. I don't know if you can see that picture there that I've got on my screen or not. It doesn't seem to be the best. It doesn't seem to let me move down for some reason, but yeah, there we go. They're the ideas that Man City have got in place. I also have some more half-time entertainment for you guys to enjoy. Now, this was very kindly sent over to me. So this is a game that we're going to play here at half-time. This was very kindly sent over to me via email from Gareth. So shout out to Gareth. This is his game that he has created. I had a play of it yesterday to see if it was good. I rated it so much so that I've put it into today's video. We're going to have a little bit of fun and see what this game is all about. So firstly, if you want to go and check this game out at any point, then the link is in the description. I just want to say a big thank you to Gareth for sending this my way. So if we just press play, and pretty much the aim of the game here is to click these adverts off first and foremost. So the aim of the game here is, I played it yesterday. As you can see, it says I've got to see who scored the most goals for Man City, and my highest score is a 36. So we've got the options of Gabriel Jesus here or Joe Hayes. I don't know why my screen's so zoomed in on here. I don't really know how to sort that one out, but sorry. You just got to take my word for it. So, got Gabriel Jesus or Joe Hayes. Gabriel Jesus scored a fair few. Don't know how many goals Joe Hayes scored. Should we go with Gabby? Let's go with Gabby, see if we're right. Gabby scored 95. I'm wrong. So, there you go. I scored 0. Relegation form. We'll play again. Which is not a good start from JSGC. So, we've got Joe Royal and Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure scored a lot of important goals. I'll go with Joe Royal scoring more goals. I'm wrong again. JSGC's bad at this game. Terrible score. Honestly, guys, as soon as I get one, we're away. Right, Eric Brook or Robinho. I'll go with Eric Brook, scoring 177 goals for City, Robinho to 16. There we go, we're on the scoreboard with 1. Eric Brook or Tommy Johnson. The fact that Eric Brook scored 177 goals, that's a whopping 177 goals. I'm going with Eric Brook. Tommy Johnson scoring 166. And Julian Alvarez has only just joined City. He's currently on 10 goals with City, so Tommy Johnson is the answer. Oh, this is close. Julian Alvarez or Fabian Delph. I don't think Fabian Delph scored 10 goals for us, has he? No, he's only scored 5. So we're away now, so we'll see. We'll go with Dom Revy. Fabian Delph scored 5. That's not that many yet. Dom Revy with 41. Jack Rodwell. Did he even score for Man City? He's got 2 goals. I'm surprised he scored 2 of them. 2 against. Super Samaras. Or Jack Rodwell. Go with Samaras banging in 12 goals for City. Look, we're getting a streak now. Darius Vassell. What an option this is. Giorgio Samaras or Darius Vassell. I'll go with Vassell. Surely he's grabbed like 20 odd goals. He has, yeah, 22. Elano or Vassell. I don't think Elano scored 22. No, 18. Good player though, Elano. Very good player. I'll go with Dennis Law. Yeah, 38. I'll go with Willie Donacci. Oh, he only scored 2. Poor ball knowledge from JSGC. But there we go. 10 I scored today. So my challenge, see if you can beat 10. I got a streak yesterday of 36 is my highest score. So yeah, do go and check that one out if you so wish. As we've nearly got the resumption of the second half here for this game. So it means I can go back to our
video is brought to you by One Football.
End of the year, the end of 2022. It's been a fantastic year for this channel as we have approached it at 1.75k. It's been a very good year for the Mixed channel, I can't complain. So to celebrate the New Year's Eve, what we're going to do is I'm going to celebrate with a tequila slammer. So if you want the tequila slammer, stick with me as I will show you how to get the party started. It is one of those unique shop recipes. If you know what tequila slammer is, you'll know what this is. So what you want to do first is get your shot glass and fill it first with tequila. So this gives me the perfect excuse to use the tequila reposado. It's a very unique brand at Don Julio, so if you've ever had it, it's a premium tequila and it's very, very nice. It is an absolutely beautiful tequila. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So this is the reposado. So fill up halfway. So as you can see, it's aged in oak barrels. This has a little bit of a different colour to your tequila blanco. So I will show you the other one. So this is the one that I got from Las Vegas. This is the Don Julio Blanco one, so it's a lot more clearer. So with the reposado, it's much more smoother. Because it's aged more in the barrels of the oak. It gives it that uncommon, rich flavour with the smoothness of the tequila. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a fantastic Christmas present. I can't wait to try this, especially in a quality shot such as a tequila slammer. Fun fact as well, it was created in 1942 Don Julio, the first premium tequila. So what you want to do now, guys, is just layer on your sparkling wine. I'm using Prosecco, which is classed as a sparkling wine. You can use champagne if you've got it, I do, but I prefer Prosecco, truthfully, over champagne.
We'll end Mixed there as we have got the second half underway here between Bristol City and Manchester City. I forgot to introduce Mixed into the stream there with the video, but yeah, you can go and check out Mixed's link. His links are in the description. Go and like and subscribe over there. Excuse me, that would be much appreciated. So both teams have made a change. Andreas Weimann has come on for Bristol City. I didn't see who he'd come on for. And Man City have also made a change, and Ederson has come on for Ortega-Moreno. So I presume Stefan Ortega-Moreno has picked up an injury. I'm wondering if it's that arm injury that he was receiving a bit of treatment for inside the first 20 minutes or so of the game. I'm wondering maybe it's maybe a strain or a small fracture on his arm or something that's felt a bit of discomfort, and he's managed to get through to half time with not too many problems. But Man City not wanting to take the risk going into the second half, and Ederson comes on. And as I was mentioning before, you feel good having Ortega-Moreno in goal because you know it's going to take something special to beat him. And now Ederson comes on, it'll improve Man City's distribution. However, if Bristol City have one or two shots, you know what Ederson, and what happens in goal with Ederson, shots on target, always just seems to be very accurate and beat him and going to the back of the net. So now more than ever, I'd say is an important time for Man City to push ahead, try and find that killer second goal to kill this game off. As Ederson's given the ball away, and Kalvin Phillips really needs to get this clear, and in the end, he makes a sliding challenge, and what happened there? Yeah, Ederson gets the ball, so it's important that from Ederson. A challenge on Bell. Akanji shows a lot of faith in Ederson in winning that ball. That Akanji could have been a little bit smarter, and instead of moving away ready for the distribution, could have just blocked Bell off, and that would have meant Bell would have had to have just had an extra second to get around Akanji or go through the back of him. Akanji just kind of moves out the way, ready for the distribution there. I think Akanji should hold his ground and block Bell and be smart. That was nearly a disaster, and everyone would have been blaming Ederson. But I think Akanji would have had a little bit of a fault there, just moving away. And just something for Man City to think about early second half there. Thank God for shin pads. Yeah, proper one onto the shins, that one. John asks, what was my first City game that I went to? Ironically, my first ever City game came in the away end. So my dad's a Bolton fan, and he wanted to take me to my first City game, but he didn't know how to get tickets for inside City's end. But obviously, being registered at Bolton, he could get tickets for Man City Bolton, but in the away end. So he took me to watch City back in 2006. So I started supporting City in 2002. So it took me 4 years to get to my first game. But I went to watch City under Stuart Pearce, and it was not pretty. We lost, I think it was 2-0. Nicholas Anelka, I think, played for Bolton then. Former Man City man as well. It was an experience. We had front row seats as well. It was very cloudy, very foggy that day. It was a cold December day. I remember the Bolton fans chanting to City, you should have gone Christmas shopping. There we go. So ball gets played forward. Bernardo Silva hits the back of his heel. Don't think he knew too much about it. On the left-hand side, he's going to have to work it backwards. Kalvin Phillips, with a combination of him and Phil Foden, can keep hold of the ball. Back in 2006 would be when Bolton were playing at the Reebok. They've been at the Reebok for as long as I can remember. They did play at Burnham Park, which is a little bit closer to Bolton town centre than what their current stadium is. The current stadium's just off the M61 motorway. A little bit outside of Bolton, not too far outside, but strictly speaking, it's in Horwich, not in Bolton as well. Although, is Horwich part of Bolton? I'm not sure. Anyway, here's Phil Foden in the penalty area. Squares one across, right across the face of goal. And just beyond everybody, and Bristol City can clear their lines. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Plays a pass in towards Mahrez, and it's not the best of passes, and Bristol City are going to be forced here to... They tried to get it out of play for a throw-in. Kevin De Bruyne managed to keep it in. Squares went into Rico Lewis. Can he sort his feet out? He can, and he tries to fizzle the ball across, and too much on that, and out of play for a throw-in. Good idea that from Rico Lewis. Could he have had a shot on his stronger right foot? I just feel like he could maybe have had a shot across goal there, because if the keeper's going across, the ball goes across the face of goal, the keeper has to make a save and parry that towards the back post or into the danger zone. Rico Lewis went for a cross instead. And Bristol City have themselves a throw-in, which Man City managed to scramble and win back. Bernardo Silva finds Riyad Mahrez. Got the overlap of Rico Lewis. Mahrez not really been involved in this game as of yet. Another goal would calm me. Yeah, there's a big Tesco right at the back of Bolton's stadium. It's on the retail park called Middlebrook, and it's nowhere near Bolton town centre. It's not walkable, is it? It probably is. It's a fair trek. Probably looking at a good 2.5-3 mile trek. It's not too far off Man City. City have actually got a couple of players out on loan at Bolton that are doing well. Luke Mbete and James Trafford, the goalkeeper. It can be walked. In theory, you can walk to Bristol. If it can be done, it means it's walkable, but I don't think there's many people out there walking from Bolton Town Centre to... It's, what's it called now? The University of Bolton Stadium. It's changing its name, isn't it? To the... What's it called? The... Oh, what's its name? Something Sheet. Everyone was memeing it. It was funny. I liked it. I can't remember what it was called now. They're changing its name. It's not One Sheet. Is it O Sheet or something? Can't remember. I'm sure someone will let me know in the live chat. But yeah, it's changing its name. Tough Sheet. That's it. Tough Sheet. The Tough Sheet Stadium. I love it. I think it's brilliant. Is Foden now centralising himself. De Bruyne, he's got the run of Mahrez, uses him. Squared across. And there's Alvarez. Can't poke it home. Man City knocking on the door here. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. It's a good ball into Foden. He does well to keep hold of the ball. I think Bolton's taken the lead away at Portsmouth as well, actually. They're in very good form at the moment, Bolton. Just reached the Pizza Trophy final as well. I live in the proximity of Bolton, so I hear people speaking about it. And I know it's a big deal, a big day out to Wembley. Playing Plymouth Argyle. Some are calling it the Pie Face Fogden final. Well noticed, John. It was running from the background. I'm not an expert on OBS. It has 2 different scenes, so when I cut across on the screen before to share my screen, it goes on to a separate scene. That's a great ball from De Bruyne towards Alvarez, and it's brilliant, brilliant defending from Bristol City. They're hanging on here, Bristol City. That's a great ball from them as well. Nathan Ake will mop this up. And finds a really good pass into Kalvin Phillips as well. Thanks for noticing that, John. I would have just left it carrying on. The time is accurate on here. Give or take a few seconds. Sorry, it was Boy Racer that noticed it. I'm all over the place at the moment. Alistair, yeah, we do need a goal. Put this game to bed. It'll be good. Boy Racer. That is a registration and a half. Who's got 15 grand to spend on a reg plate? I think they're 1-0 up. I mean, it's Portsmouth. Let's have a look. Right, firstly, Brighton have knocked Stoke out. Stoke 0, Brighton 1. So Brighton, first team to progress to the quarterfinals. Evan Ferguson with a goal for Brighton. Blackburn Rovers looking good against Leicester still. They're 2-1 up now. Leicester have got a goal back through Kelechi Iheanacho. There's only 7 minutes remaining of that game in normal time. Fulham are looking good as well against Leeds. They're 2-0 up. Man City 1-0 up here. Championship, any changes? Yeah, Millwall are 2-0 up away at Luton. Derby are now 2-0 up against Cheltenham. Lincoln are 1 up against MK. Bolton are 1-0 up against Portsmouth. It's Dion Charles that's grabbed the goal for Bolton. If that stays the same, that takes Bolton to 3rd in the league and just 3 points behind Plymouth. As I said, finding the form and looking good for at least a playoff spot and in the Pizza Trophy final. And a big day out at Wembley at the beginning of April for them. As I said, James Trafford and Luke Mbete doing really well at Bolton. There's talk that James Trafford could come to return back to Man City. He signed a new contract, I think, last year upon him signing his loan deal in the summer with Bolton. There was talk about Ian Evatt, the manager at Bolton, saying that he's expecting him to return back to Man City at the end of this season and he's going to be Man City's new second choice keeper. So I don't know what that means about either Ederson or Stefan Ortega-Moreno. I'd be surprised if either of them leave, to be honest, but I didn't see Zach Steffen leaving. And he's still on Man City's books, only on loan at Middlesbrough. Anyway, here's Man City, just patiently building it up. It's a good ball from Ruben Dias as Mahrez managed to keep himself on side. The flag never went up. Headed clear, but picked up by De Bruyne. He finds Mahrez once more. He tries to find a pass into the channel of Julian Alvarez, and Riyad Mahrez picks that ball up in a dangerous area. Shows good feet, goes down and gets a free kick. That's a bit of a weak one. The Bill, that's a great shout. Put the Scottish teams in there as well. That's a great shout. Celtic or Rangers at home or away would be very interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be really interesting. It's a cracking idea, that. I think the big problem you have with the League Cup is the games are played midweek. I mean, I know this FA Cup match here has been played in midweek and you get the replays in midweek, but predominantly most of the competitive games are played at the weekend, which is why there tends to be, in my opinion, more interest in the FA Cup than the League Cup. League Cups are just some teams that they're playing see it as games they could do without. I personally like the League Cup. I think it's a really good day out. Also, the Newcastle fans will be matching what I'm saying with a really good day out for them. There's a free kick from De Bruyne, goes straight into the wall. And Mahrez follows that up with a shot blocked as well. Here's Bernardo Silva right on the edge of the Bristol City penalty area. It's a bit of a waste of a free kick, that, from Manchester City. Here is Bernardo Silva now to Phil Foden. I'm wondering how long this is going to be before we actually do see Erling Haaland. I can only imagine what Blackpool would be like should Rangers... And so if Rangers ended up playing any team in the Northwest, their station would be in Blackpool, wouldn't it? Just imagine how many fans they would bring. Just picture just how well supported Celtic and Rangers are. And then picture how many they could bring to a match. As Bristol City just came forward there and had a shot blocked well by Manchester City. And this game started to open up again. And as City haven't killed this game off, it's what we were saying before. Just De Bruyne nearly gets his pass right, but not quite on it. And Bristol City continue just to hang on in the game. But hanging on they are. And it only takes one opportunity. It was a good block from Ruben Dias, that shot from Weimann. I like that idea of the British Cup. It needs pitching. Merge the League Cup of Scotland and the League Cup of England into a British Cup. I mean, you could expand it even further, really, and invite... Would you invite? Is it competitive enough to invite Welsh teams into it? Imagine the top division of Wales would be able to challenge some of the teams in the EFL. You'd think. There's a chance just to go and play teams you don't normally face. As into another good position here, good defending from Manuel Akanji to get it clear for Man City. I can just imagine Man City. Who've you got? Stenhousemuir away. Stenhousemuir away. What a game that would be. And vice versa, you could have... That's a great ball from De Bruyne into the channel for Phil Foden. You could have some really interesting matchups. Celtic playing Newport County. Trying to think what a really feisty game would be. You could put some Welsh teams in there, I feel. As I said, I imagine some of them will be able to hold their own against some of the clubs in the EFL. That's out for a throw into Man City. 63 minutes in. As I said, I wonder how long it's going to take for Man City head to the bench to try and wrap this game up. I think Man City just want to try and keep a clean sheet. Oh, God. East 5-5, 4 for 4. Tongue twister, say that quickly. East 5-5, 4 for 4. East 5-5, 4 for 4. It's the 4-fer that does it. 4 for 4. 4 for 4. So free kick to Bristol City, and this game's just... It started to liven up again. It's got a proper feel of a proper cup game, this. I really found a way of getting Foden involved. He was brilliant first half. I've not really seen too much of Philip in this second half. Bristol City again, make balls into the channel. And that's a cracking challenge from Bernardo Silva, and that's well kept in from Bernardo, and that's brilliant work from Foden. Here's Kevin De Bruyne now. He's got the run of Alvarez. He's got the run of Mahrez. Alvarez is the one that has the shot, and it's saved well. Oh, that's a nasty, nasty challenge from Foden, and that could well be a yellow card. Yeah, Foden into the book then for Man City. It's late from Foden. Anyway, don't forget, subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description, also in the live chat. And we're now just 3 likes away from 50 likes. I mean, halfway to our goal of 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. I look like a 3 kick to Bristol City. Like Diaz went right through the back of the Bristol City player there, not given. Here is Kalvin Phillips, and that's not the greatest of passes, and that's well kept on by Bernardo Silva. And Man City just been pressed and forced into a mistake, and City managed to come away with a throw-in from that. And Ruben Dias did just go through the back of him. It should have been a free kick. Maybe Bell's already on his way down and looking to play for it. He looks over his shoulder. He's waiting for the contact. There's minimal contact in that. It's not enough for Bell to go down. So a big 24 minutes coming up here, and this might just be a case of what I've been speaking about against Nottingham Forest, where I keep saying kill a second goal, but sometimes you just need to stick with it, grind it out, and just be patient. And as long as you're defending, and I mean, it's not like Ederson's been forced into saves and the pepper in our goal. It's just we're feeling anxious because it's only 1-0, and whilst it's only 1-0, they stand a chance. But if Man City can be defensively strong and limit the opposition to very little, which is what they've done so far, then, you know, Man City are in cruise control. Man City have got the 1-goal advantage as of right now. It's a slender advantage, and ideally you'd want a bigger advantage, but we don't have that bigger advantage, and you just need to be strong. Ruben Dias gets that clear for City. Arsenal got a big game tomorrow, of course, against Everton in the Premier League. A game in hand as cross comes in from Bristol, headed out for a corner. The Bristol City fans well up for this. Fans on the feet. They're encouraged by what they see. And as I said, all this hope and belief and atmosphere is coming about because they're still in the game, because it is 1-0. This was 2-0. Fans would still be on the feet, trying to encourage the team to try and find a goal to make it interesting. But after it's 1-0, you stand that chance, like Nottingham Forest did, and they had that one chance, 1 goal, and that's what City need to iron out here. It'll be nerve-wracking, and it won't make people feel won't make people feel great. But at some point, I do feel like Man City need to learn how to grind. I'll put you in a position here. If this was Man City against RB Leipzig in 2 and a bit weeks' time, and in fact it's 2 weeks today, if this was Man City and it's the 70th minute and we're 1-0 up against RB Leipzig, what would the approach be? As I said, you want to win the big trophies and you want to be a team that goes on to win things, you have to be able to play good football. Sometimes you're able to win 4-5-0. Other times, you might only score 1. But as long as you're keeping a clean sheet and keeping things nice and tight, sometimes all you need to do is score a goal and win a game 1-0. Cross comes in then from Ederson. That's gone out of play for a very cheap corner. That's gone out of play for a corner. That should have been a corner to Bristol City. It's not been given. Claimed Ederson kept that one in. Ederson should have seen that going miles over his crossbar and just guided that past his goal. And if he was concerned, it gets put behind. Catching it and then following it backwards and dropping it over the line there. That went over the line. That should have been a corner. I don't feel like the goal's coming. Bristol City, as I said, they're not peppering Manchester City's goal. They're just encouraged by what they've seen. Have I seen... I mean, there's always that one chance, and that's what we're concerned about. But from what I've seen of Bristol City, I'm not sure I've seen enough to think to myself, there's players out there that's going to really hurt Man City if we're not really on this. And that's cut off. And that's not a great pass into the channel for Julian Alvarez. And it's cleared by Bristol City. Akanji's let this one drop, and a bit of shirt pulling going on from both players. Referee, let's play go on. Right decision, in my opinion, from the ref. Headed into space. Ruben Dias is going to have to... He's going to try and shield this, and he's not shielded it properly, and it's been kept in. Cross comes in, and there was that chance. It's wide. Ruben Dias. Bigging up his praises in the first half. Ruben Dias, there's very little power on the ball forward there, and the ball gets kept in. If you're in any shadow of a doubt, that ball, you get rid of it. You get rid of it away from the danger zone. Ruben Dias must be stronger there. Must be stronger there. Bristol City should have scored. So Riyad Mahrez is going to come off for Manchester City. And Jack Grealish is going to come on. Sure, that's going to mean Foden going to the right-hand side and Grealish on the left. They've just booed Jack Grealish coming on. Why are Bristol City booing Jack Grealish? What has Jack Grealish done to Bristol City? I mean, when was the last time he even faced Bristol City? When Aston Villa were in the Championship, 5 years ago? I don't know if there's any afters there, but come on. Come on. De Bruyne doesn't get their first good bit of defending again from Bristol City. Again, some work for Man City to do. De Bruyne has not quite been on it today yet. Feels like a proper cup tie, this one, doesn't it? And Bolton are losing now. 2-1 down. They were winning. Imploded Bolton against Portsmouth. Imploded. And Alec, they put a thing up on the side of a pub, didn't they? To be fair, I'm fairly sure I read a stat that in terms of the southern-based Man United fans, I've heard Bristol City has one of the largest followings down south of Manchester United fans. And obviously being so far away from Manchester United in typical Manchester United fashion, they have a lot of fans that have never set foot in Old Trafford, never seen Old Trafford, probably never been to Manchester either, just have a following for Man United because they were good and successful, rather than supporting some of the teams local around them. But obviously got a chance here to watch a fabulous game of football, watching Man City come to town. So what you're seeing here is Bristol City-based Man United fans is what I think is what's happening there. So Blackburn Rovers caused the cup upset. They have knocked Leicester City out of the FA Cup. Leicester City are out and Blackburn Rovers go through. Fulham 2-0 up and looking good. Man City 1-0 up here in the close game. But with a 3-1 down now. That's going to be a win for Portsmouth. It's a blow for Bolton. Although Mixed's team, 0-0 against Coventry. Might be thinking Preston can sneak that at the end. Here's Alvarez now, and shot comes in, and it's deflected into the back of the net. Might well be an own goal, because it looked like it might have been going wide from Foden. And there is Man City's killer second goal. And that should be Manchester City on their way to the FA Cup quarter-finals. And it's Phil Foden with a brace. We'll see if it is an own goal or not. Good ball in, Nathan Ake gets forward. Alvarez gives it to Foden. Takes a deflection and into the back of the net. Let's have a look. Was this going in? Probably the best angle we'll get. Let's have a look. This might be the best angle, actually. I think that might have been going wide. I think that's going to be an own goal. But it's 2-0 Manchester City. It doesn't matter. City are 2-0 up and on their way to the quarter-finals. And I'm sure the City fans will be chanting about Wembley right now. Because Man City going to be one game away, one win away from Wembley Stadium. And I presume the draws either tomorrow or Thursday for the quarter-finals. Bristol City got 15 minutes to try and get back into this game. They're under pressure. 2-0 down. That's a killer 2-goal cushion. City can relax a little bit more. Not take the foot off the gas and allow opportunities, but Man City can just be relaxed knowing they've got a 2-goal cushion that they can play the normal game. Foden's been fantastic tonight. So 14 minutes remaining here of this cup tie. It's been a good cup tie. It's been a good game of football. It's been everything you'd expect from an FA Cup match. A team that's been in really good form, Bristol City, showed no fear. They've attacked. They've taken the game to Man City. They're keeping it close, tight and compact. You always felt like Man City, if they had it about them, could go out there and score even more. City haven't been the most clinical in front of goal. But looking good, City, looking good. So, let's have a look at today's video sponsor, BetMate, which I'm going to check out. Links in the description, also in the live chat. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up too. Now just 52 likes away from 100 likes. And also subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on as Dasilva comes on for Bristol City. Oh my, I'm 65th out of 71. JSGC's had a bit of a nightmare. Picked the wrong players. I've not scored particularly well. My defenders haven't done too bad. Rico Lewis with 5 points. Akanji with 5 points. Ortega-Moreno going off, obviously, been a bit of a blow. Imagine that'll be a case for a lot of the goalkeepers. As O'Leary's only on 2 points as well. Nothing too great from any of the Bristol City players. It's much more been my City players, really. Captain De Bruyne that's done it. I was hoping De Bruyne would have a really good game, but there we go. Not having Phil Foden in my team and not having Captain Phil Foden. There we go. Right, 12 minutes remaining here. And it's important Man City don't let anything slip. And as I mentioned before, I think one thing Man City were looking to try and take away from this game will be a clean sheet. Great preparation for Newcastle, trying to keep a clean sheet and just keeping things nice and compact. Nothing suggests control of the game like keeping a clean sheet. And the last thing we need is a grandstand finish and Bristol City getting a goal and getting up ahead of steam and potentially getting back into this tie. And City have got it 2-0 up. You know, don't need to do anything stupid. No reason for the big players to come on from here. We've seen Jack Grealish come on. We don't need to see the likes of Gundogan and Erling Haaland and that coming on, really. Man City play a crossfield pass. It's perfect. Jack Grealish takes the touch into the penalty area. Squares it across and Sykes gets his hands all wrong there. And thankfully for him, it doesn't drop into the back of the net, but onto the roof of the net and out for a corner to Manchester City. A cracking ball forward. And yeah, that could have been a disaster for Sykes in his 90s kit. He soon realised his hands were all wrong there and checks to make sure it's not going in the back of his net. Corner for City then. City can get a third. It'll really seal this tie. Foden. Good tackle from Foden. Tries to thread a pass in. He's challenging for everything, Phil Foden. He wants it. He really wants it. And Bristol City can come forward, and that's good work from Kalvin Phillips. And good work from Bristol City too, and they managed to buy themselves a free kick as well, which they want to take quickly. Nahki Wells should have stayed down. Gets on with it. And given away by Bristol City. Here's Rico Lewis. That's a great pass from Jack Grealish. De Bruyne fancies the shot, and De Bruyne finds the back of the net. Well, and maybe that's going to boost JSGC right up the BetMate League with his captain, Kevin De Bruyne, makes it 3-0. Almost like slow motion. Keeper caught off his line. And De Bruyne sends it in the bottom corner. Gets City's third, and Man City on their way to the FA Cup quarter-finals here. And De Bruyne back in the goals. Returns from illness. And we get a chance of old Kevin De Bruyne. 35 yards out. Pings it in. KDB right in the bottom corner. Keeper off his line. Backing off, backing off. The power and precision. I think the keeper will be disappointed to be getting beat from there, but there we go. As Trent Alexander-Arnold lookalike comes on in Marley Francois. For Nahki Wells. And I think City are making a change as well. Phil Foden's going to come off. Cole Palmer's going to come on, and Sergio Gomez is also going to come on for City for Nathan Ake, and this allows City now just to freshen things up a little bit. Cole Palmer, Sergio Gomez, probably both of them disappointed not to have started this game, to be honest. But not to worry. Getting some more valuable minutes here. Let's run to 50 likes. We're halfway there, so that's good. So any help towards that would be great. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. And go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the live chat and also in the description. And so it's a defeat for Bolton, 3-1. It's a blow for them. Preston did finish 0-0 against Coventry. Fulham have gone through against Leeds by 2-0. So in the quarterfinals, it's going to be Brighton and Hove Albion, Blackburn Rovers, Fulham, and Manchester City is the quarterfinals so far. Tomorrow you've got Southampton taking on Grimsby, Burnley taking on Fleetwood, Manchester United taking on West Ham United, and Sheffield United taking on Spurs. You're looking at them and you're thinking, Man United, Spurs, both of them could go out, and then Man City will be very heavy favourites, but all depends on the draw. And for City, ideally, I'd be wanting to be at home against anybody in the quarter-final would suit me down to the ground. Not fussed, even if it's United or Tottenham, as long as it's at home. I fancy at Wembley, we're capable of beating anyone. Wembley, anything can happen. You know, it's a match at Wembley. As Jack Grealish bursts forward here, Man City not done yet. De Bruyne, penalty area, squared across, headed clear by Bristol City and kept in only as far as Jack Grealish in the penalty area still. Can he get a ball in? He can't. And Nathan Ake always playing well. He's a good player, Nathan Ake. John, last 2 goals have been scored. I think it was an own goal, that Foden one. Let's have a look what it's been awarded as. It looked like an own goal anyway. No, it's been awarded to Foden. It looked like an own goal. And then it was Kevin De Bruyne grabbing the goal. So I was 65th. I mean, that Kevin De Bruyne goal sent me up to 59th. Mixed. Anyone at home. Anyone at home will do, mate. Me and Mixed are going to be busy on that Saturday, so I'm hoping City, for selfish reasons, will be playing on the Sunday. So we'll be able to see it. Or if we're going to be playing on the Saturday night, or Friday night, I'm easy. It won't be a Monday, it's the international break, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Man City are playing on the Tuesday in the Champions League, so I think City will probably want to avoid the Friday night game, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm a bit disappointed that I've only climbed from 65th to 59th for that Kevin De Bruyne goal. Got Captain Kevin De Bruyne to take me on to 16 points. I mean, it's climbed me up an extra 9 points, so it's put me closer, but not great. Bernardo Alvarez, it's a hand. Let's hit a hand. Referee's not given a penalty. City. I'd rather face United at the Etihad than at Wembley, to be honest. I'd rather face, if we're going to face United at any point, I'd rather face them in the quarter-final. Man City do have a big game against Leipzig before the FA Cup quarter-final. Oh, there's a bit of pushing going on now. Someone's upset Bernardo there. Referee don't want to lose control of the game now. It's all stemmed from this handball and a few afters have got involved. I think Bernardo's going into the book. Bernardo does go into the book. And I presume the other Bristol City players are going to go into the book. I think he's going to speak. Is he going to speak? I thought he was going to speak to the linesman. But there we go. So Williams is having a word with him. I think he's going to go into the book as well, Williams. And Williams does go into the book. So Williams just shoved right into Bernardo Silva off the ball for no reason whatsoever. So Bernardo's retaliated and pushed him. So Bernardo Silva was onside. Looked like very much a handball on that Alvarez shot. Very much what was handball. Ali McCoy's just saying his arm's by his side, but he's sliding down, and as he's sliding down, his arm's here. Anyway, Perrone comes on for Man City. He's getting some more minutes. Joe Williams just gone into the book, does his last thing of the game and comes off. I presume Nigel Pearson's thinking to himself here, I don't want Williams to lose his head and get a pointless red card and be suspended for the next game. So brings him off. I didn't see who Perrone's come on for. Loads of changes being made here. Changes left, right and centre. I'm waiting for confirmation of who's come on. Andy King's coming on for Bristol City as well. Just giving players a chance here to play a big game against Man City, I presume. So De Bruyne has come off and Perrone has come on for Man City. Good to see. And still waiting for confirmation of Bristol City's subs. If we get them. Anyway, we're into Perrone is an Italian beer. Perrone, that's Peroni. So Joe Williams and Matty James came off for Bristol City. And Omar Taylor-Clark and Andy King are the players that have come on. Confirmation of Bristol City substitutions. As we're into the 90th minute now. And Man City, as I mentioned before, will just want to keep hold of their clean sheet. So seems like an appropriate time now for me to give my JSGC Man of the Match, which I'm sure you're all going to be shocked when I say is going to go to Philip Walter Foden. It looks like he's been awarded that second goal, so a brace for Foden. He's worked hard, he's challenged for every ball, and Phil Foden today, the big difference between the two teams, he showed the quality that Man City are looking for, and Phil Foden, we could be seeing him once more against Newcastle. And if Man City are basing it on performances on the pitch, then Phil Foden should be one of the players starting in that game as Ederson comes flying off his line. And again, a bit of a distribution error, and City just about get away with it as we're now into the first of 2 minutes added on. That's twice Man City, and Ederson's come forward for balls that needed dealing with, in my opinion, by the defensive line. I don't even care if Ederson's coming out and shouting for it. You've got to be visually aware of the danger around you, and you've got to realise sometimes it's not worth taking that risk. That could easily, again, have resulted in Bristol City having a big opportunity with our keeper miles off his line. That could have ruined out and spoiled our clean sheet. But as it is, it looks like who gets the clean sheet here? Ederson or Ortega-Moreno, or both, as Ortega-Moreno went off injured at half-time. But either way, clean sheet is a clean sheet. A 3-0 victory. Phil Foden, my man of the match. And Man City cruising past Bristol City of the Championship and into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, where we await the draw to see who we're going to face in the next round. Ederson sends it long. 15 seconds then remaining of this live watch along. 10 seconds to go. Bristol City come forward. Maybe got time for one more chance. No. Andre Mariner, the referee, blows the full-time whistle. And Manchester City progress to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, beating Bristol City away from home here at Ashton Gate by 3-0. I'm going to do my match review, and I want that up within the hour, and I want to get things sorted. It is pretty late here. I've got work tomorrow morning and everything, early starts and all that. So I'm not going to linger around. I'm just going to say thank you very much to everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. And thank you, everybody, for leaving a thumbs up. It's great. What shall we see? See, with post-production, we can get past 60 likes. That will be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description below and on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Let me know your thoughts as well whilst we've got the live chat rolling for the next couple of minutes. Do go check out today's video sponsor as well, BetMate. Links and details there in the description, and also in the live chat. Big shout out to BetMate. Let's have a look who has won today's pot. I don't think it's going to be me. I've ended up finishing in 59th place out of 71. Not the best. See if we'll do a bit better in the next one, but there we go. It happens. So the winner of the £400 pot today, winning by 1 whole point, goes to PCKM. Congratulations to them. Winning first place prize of £120. Working a treat for them, having captain Phil Foden with vice captain Riyad Mahrez and a team made up of Manchester City players. So congratulations to PCKM on winning today's BetMate pot. And of course, we'll be back speaking more about BetMate in my next videos coming up, which will be the preview of the Newcastle game towards the end of the week. So yeah, thank you everybody that's checked out BetMate. Thank you to everybody that's interacted with me today, left a thumbs up and communicated with me through the live chat as well. Thank you to Mixid for providing some of halftime entertainment today. Go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. And I'll see you all again very soon for the next live watch along. I'm going to be very busy this weekend. I've got a weekend away. I'll have videos up with everything. I might do some YouTube shorts giving my thoughts on the Newcastle game. I'm going to be away this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to do a live watch along of the Newcastle game unfortunately, but I will have my match preview up as normal towards the end of the week. I'll have a full match review out at the start of next week, and then of course next live watch along for Man City will be our away match against Crystal Palace. But yeah, our big opening of away games is complete. Next up will be Newcastle United in the Premier League. Bernardo Silva, is he suspended for the next round? I thought the suspensions just carried on through into the Premier League. Do they not? I don't know. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I'll give my thoughts in my review, which will be up within the hour. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.